Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Buglas. I am the founder of the Butterfly Movements, where we partner with purpose-led brands to start movements of positive change in the world. To find out more, sign up to our newsletter, our community space, or our YouTube channel. Head over to www.thebutterflymovements.com. So I'm going to be doing a little video series on the shifts that are needed to go from traditional marketing to purpose-led marketing. And today I'd like to start with one of the most fundamental shifts that is needed, which is that of moving from audiences to communities. So recently I've had some conversations with some purpose-led brands who are all struggling to convert. And all of them believe that the solution to their problems is going to be through marketing, and more specifically, buying media. But there is a fundamental shift that needs to happen first, because purpose-led brands can't simply promote their products and convert to sales in the same way that mass brands can. The reason for that is when you are purpose-driven, you're generally trying to evolve the world in some way. And you're trying to challenge the existing paradigms. And this means that you are trying to evolve mindsets, or you're trying to shift consumption habits. So as Seth Godin would say, it is no longer about marketing average stuff for average people. As a purpose-led brand, you need to shift from audience to community, to connect with a tribe who truly believes what you believe. So traditional marketing will have you define your target audience as a group that is large enough, broad enough to reach your ambitious sales targets. Your target audience is generally defined with demographics, and if you're lucky, in some cases, with some general lifestyle habits. This will then enable you to specifically buy the media against that target audience. So for brands that are simply communicating product benefits, this strategy works if you have enough money to invest in sufficient media to be heard above the competition. But again, for brands that are purpose-driven, for those that are looking to evolve the status quo, this strategy simply isn't going to cut it. Evolving mindsets and shifting consumption habits requires a much deeper level of connection. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but a brand that is looking to evolve mindsets and transform the world in some way will not be adopted by the masses as of the get-go. But you know what? The good news is that you do not need everybody, because that's not how the innovation curve works. So let's talk about the innovation curve for 1 second. So the innovation curve is the way in which an innovation gets adopted by an audience. And unsurprisingly, it starts with what is called the innovators. So the innovators are the people who are in the know and who you don't need to convince because they already love you. They are the ones who will wait in line for hours to get the first product, or the ones that will like your post the second that you put it up. The bad news is that they only represent about 2.5% of your potential market, but they are your tribe. They are the ones that are so excited by you that they will talk about you to their family and their friends. So you need to define them as narrowly as possible. The more niche, the better, because this will enable you to get to know them properly. Because the trick is, you need to know them as well as you know your best friend or your partner. You need to understand what are their fears, what are their motivations, what are their deepest desires, what frustrates them, and most importantly, what do they believe that you also believe? Then you create a sense of community. You foster an ambassador mindset. You make it easy for your tribe to talk about you and to forward your brand purpose. So the innovators, as they talk about you, will be growing your community, and they will then give way to the early adopters. So this is how your tribe is growing. And the great news is that the early adopters represent the next 13.5% of the innovation curve. So once you have all of your early adopters, you will reach that magical 16%, which is the tipping point to mass adoption. But I'm not going to make you big promises. This will not happen overnight. It could take years to get there. It will require patience and a lot of nurturing of your tribe. But if you do it right, that's when you evolve mindsets. That's when you shift consumption habits. And that's when you make a real change in the world. So just one example, think back to when Tesla was first launched, and it first launched the fully electric car. So at first it was for a very niche elite. There were no public charging stations. But as the tribe grew, so did the development of the electric car ecosystem. And now, not only is Tesla available and accepted by what is the next stage of the innovation curve, the early majority. But most other car manufacturers are offering competitive alternatives. And even legislation is evolving to push that late majority to adoption in the coming years. So purpose-led marketing is no longer about broad audiences and mass media to convert to sales. It is about creating deep connections with those who believe what you believe and enabling them to talk about your brand for you. This is how we build the brands of tomorrow. So if you'd like to discuss the marketing strategy for your brand, I'd love to hear from you. You can contact me directly on my LinkedIn profile or email me at info@thebutterflymovements.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.